You will see something that says join the transcription mission. These pension records are all going to be organized by state. I actually need to take this out. It says there are also featured records divided by skill level. That used to be the case. That's not the case anymore. So I apologize for that. But all of the pension application files, those are all organized by state. So you're going to hit that button that says join the transcription mission.
So that's contribute to the catalog?
Contribute to the catalog. Yep, there should be something that says citizen archivists. Click on that. And then if you scroll down a little, you'll see something that looks like this: Revolutionary War Pension Files Transcription and Tagging Missions. You want to select join the transcription mission.
Citizen archivist mission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you should see this. Some states have already been completed. Some states that either didn't have a lot of people serve or didn't have anybody serve at all are marked as completed. But you are going to want to select either Massachusetts or Rhode Island, depending on what you are looking for. So this is going to take you to the list of all of the files for the state. This is a part where it's going to be a little bit easier to stop following along with me temporarily and to just listen to me explain how to do this. It's just going to make it a little bit easier for everyone. So you are going to select a file unit to work on. Okay. Many of these files can be anywhere from 10 to 100 pages long. There is no expectation by anyone, certainly not by me or Allison, that you complete an entire file or you complete an entire file in one sitting. However, you can complete as many or as few pages as you would like. However, we do ask that you complete one full page at a time. So please don't leave a page halfway transcribed. Make sure that you've carved out enough time for yourself to at least finish one complete page.
So it can be vary as far as how long that page would take you to complete, or?
It can vary. Some pages have very little information on them. Some pages have a lot. Some pages have a lot.
See how big the file is?
So it will show you how big the file is. So up top, this one says 60 images. So this file is 60 pages long. Some files are 10, some files are 20, some files are 50, some are 60. But you don't have to do, again, the entire file at once.
Exactly, and she'll talk about that. There's like convention.
I will show you in 1 second.
We have another sheet. Hold on.
To begin transcribing, you're going to click on a button. So once you select your file, you're going to click the button that says transcribe, or transcription rather, in the upper left corner. If the record says transcription available, that means that somebody has already started to transcribe this record or has transcribed that particular page. So you'll see up top for this specific file, it says 0 out of 9 have transcriptions, which means nobody has started this file at all. You might see one that says 2 out of 9. You might see one that says 9 out of 9. You are welcome and encouraged to edit these transcriptions to improve their accuracy. So just because a file is already transcribed doesn't mean that you can't work on it. If anyone's familiar with how Wikipedia works, right, where you can edit a page and add information, remove things that are incorrect, change things that need to be changed, that's how this works as well. So if you happen to be looking at a transcribed file and saying, I know this says prints, but this person has put print, right? You can go in and change that. If the record says transcription not started, that means that no one has started to transcribe it yet. So once you click on that transcription button, it's going to pop up this gray box here on the side of your screen. This is called the transcription window. you are going to click Start Transcribing, which is that button in the bottom left. Some notes for you. Formatting is not important, so that means you don't have to put in things like paragraph breaks, or you don't need to indent the start of a new paragraph. If two parts of a word are separated by a hyphen on the original document because they've run out of space, you can just write the whole word, right? So you don't need to transcribe rev-elution. You can just write revolution. You're going to start typing what you read into the gray box. When you're done transcribing, you're going to hit Publish and Close at the bottom of this box. We found this out the first event that we did, where some people panicked because it looked like their transcription disappeared. It might take a couple of hours for these to go live. So if you hit Publish and Close, it says it's been saved, and nothing happens, don't panic just yet. It might be just the system taking a couple of hours to sort of update. And your account page is going to show your most recent contributions. So say you're working on a 70-page file, you only have time to do 5 pages one night, but you want to get back to that file. If you go back to your account page and click contributions, you can hop right back in and pick it up again when you have more time. Yeah?
Is there a way, like let's say you're in a file and you just want to do the whole thing, but you don't have time right then and there?
Yeah.
Is there a way to like save to say, okay, I really want to do this, or is it a first come, first serve?
It's first come, first serve, basically. So you can't reserve a file or mark it as your own. Sometimes people will pass over files that have been started but not completed, but there is no kind of guarantee on that. Good question, though.
So
Yeah.
I just found Abigail Adams submitting for John.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a question?
So there's information on the record I'm looking at that's like a form.
Yeah.
We transcribe that.
Yes. Yes. So you are going to transcribe everything, whether it's handwritten or whether it's typed. So everything needs to be included. So some records are going to have machine-generated text. Remember how Allison said that they had kind of experimented with doing this with AI? That is that. This text varies in accuracy and is often not correct. But it can be a good starting point if you need it. But don't overly rely on it because, again, a lot of it is incorrect. Machines, unlike people, don't want to admit that they're wrong. They will kind of generate something or make something up if they're confused. So it's certainly not the perfect model. It's certainly not the final end-all, be-all. You can view this text by clicking on Extracted Text if you wanted to look at it. If you cannot decipher a word because of smudging, rips, bad image quality, or bad handwriting, please don't try and guess. Just put the word illegible in brackets. And that is okay. That's not a bad thing if you can't figure out a word. The National Archives has also sponsored an online chat forum that is called History Help. So if there is something that you feel like someone could figure out, but you're not the person, right, to figure out what that word says, which has happened to me many times, you can either call over a friend or you can take a screenshot and post it on History Help and ask if anyone knows what that word says. Yeah, of course. These are some really important guidelines for transcribing, and we have a couple of handouts about this, but these are the really 4 important things to keep in mind. 1, like I said, if you can't make out a word, just use illegible. 2, if you'd like to make a notation about something you see in the record, you can use brackets to do so. So,
Open and close brackets.
yes. So sometimes it's open and close brackets. So for example, when I was transcribing a record, I saw a signature and I knew it was the guy's name, right? It was his signature. So I put in brackets, signature of, I don't remember his name, Joseph Warren. I'll make that up, right? Signature of Joseph Warren. If a word is abbreviated, do not type out the full word. type things exactly as they appear in the document. And that applies to misspellings or grammar mistakes in the document. Something kind of cool about the English language is this idea that we have in our mind of a correct spelling, of a standard spelling. That's actually a relatively new invention. So just because something is spelled wrong to us in a document doesn't mean that it was spelled wrong to the person who wrote it. That may have been an acceptable way to write it at the time. And make sure that you keep an eye out for the long form S, which looks like an F. That can be kind of tricky. You use S. That is the only exception. The only exception is long form S. So if you see something that looks like Massachusetts, it's Massachusetts, and you can write Massachusetts. But the only exception to that rule is the long form S. Everything else needs to be typed exactly as it appears in the document.
Is there a place to go to, is there a index of words that aren't used today? Can you go onto a site?
So there are various websites and databases that have that information. We also have a list of some of the most common ones that you will see that we are happy to hand out if that's helpful.
Did you hand that out?
Yeah, we have it. It's over here. Oh, sorry. Could you?
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
People were already asking about a few.
Of course. So just remember that context is everything while you're reading these documents. So like I said, you have the long form S here. This looks like it says on nefs, right? This is actually from the Declaration of Independence. This is Congress. Yep, Congress. So compare similar letters in the document that you're reading to make sure that you're reading or interpreting, rather, it correct. Letters are going to often appear similar because the same person wrote the entire document. Again, if you're wondering whether you're reading something with an F or with an S, remember that some Fs written in a handwritten word stand for double S. This is an old style of handwriting, an old form of shorthand.
So you just transcribe as much as you can in some words.
If there's something you can't read, just put illegible in brackets. That's okay, and that's actually preferred. Yeah.
So I'm in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
But I have data from Vermont. Does that matter?
So when you click on Massachusetts, it's going to show you all of the people who have served in Massachusetts. They may not be living in Massachusetts when they apply for a pension. So again, you might see someone that says, I'm living in Vermont, but I served in Massachusetts. Remember, there's again about like a 20, 30, 40, 50-year gap between the end of the war and the beginning of these pension acts, depending on when this individual applied. So they may have moved to a different state. Yeah, of course. So thank you for volunteering your time and effort to do this. This is not possible without people like you who are interested in volunteering. We're going to kind of turn you loose to get started. And if you have any questions, Allison and I are here to help. One last thing that I will plug for us, if you're interested in formally tracking your hours, so if you need hours for National Honor Society or something similar, or if you just want to possibly earn a very cool National Parks Pass for volunteering your hours to the Park Service, you can reach out to our nonprofit partner at the Blackstone River Valley National Heritage Corridor. They will get you set up with the proper paperwork that is needed to officially track your hours for things like NHS, Eagle Scouts, Girl Scouts, what have you.
So cool.
I will add a massive disclaimer at the bottom. If you are under the age of 18, a parent or legal guardian needs to sign that form. But if you're over the age of 18, feel free to sign it for yourself.
And how do we do that?